Okay, here we are, Padlet, but how are we going to use it for our social emotional learning needs students that are older? I'm going to show you how to use this thing. When you log in for a free account, they'll give you 4 Padlets. Anything beyond that, they're going to charge you a monthly fee. You use it as you need to. I only need up to 4 of them, and I'm going to show you why. But when you first get here, you're going to come up to the top left where it says Make a Padlet, the pink button right here. When you get here, you're going to see a lot of different options. I'm going to show you 2 today. Now, what you're going to want to do for purposes of creating a Padlet, the first thing I want to show you is the shelf. It's like category-based information. So we're going to select that, and it's going to open up a Padlet. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to create a category based on social emotional learning stuff. You can be as creative as you need to. Up here, you can change the title. I'm going to title this one, Zones of Regulation for Social Group. Maybe I could title it Zones of Regulation for my 3rd period group or my Tuesday group, whatever you need to do. And then the description, add 1 item in each zone that relates to the zone. Okay? So there we go. I'm going to scroll down and it gives me some options. Explore those. I'm just going to show you a couple of them. What I like to do is, for purposes of creating friend files or getting students to learn about others' interests, I allow them to comment on each other's post because that develops that ability to initiate or provide supporting comments or follow-up questions. So I'm going to turn that on, but again, it's at your discretion. And then down here, there's a couple options as well. I click on the filter profanity and then require approval depending on the group. Since we're working with such small groups of 2, 3, sometimes 4, maybe 5, you can require the approval from you as the administrator before it gets posted. But remember, you're going to keep it within just your group here. Now that I have that created, I'm going to click next on the top right where that pink button's at, and then I can start posting away. So you might be thinking, how do I get my kids working on this? Well, first I want to create the column. So we're going to title this the blue zone. We're going to title the next one, what do you think? The green zone. Remember, these could be category based as well. Things that fly, things that are hot, round things, shiny objects. I mean, you could really add to it. So here we go. The next column we're going to say is the yellow zone. And then the last one is going to be the red zone. So now that I have my 4 zones, I'm going to click save. And then what I do is I can share this as a link or as a QR code. So up here where it says share up on the top right, I'm going to click that. And then I'm going to copy this link to the clipboard. Now that I have that link, I can put it into the Zoom chat or the Google Meets chat. I can email it to the students, or what I can do is I can post it into your learning management system, such as Canvas, or maybe Seesaw, or maybe your Google Classroom. Now that you have the link copied, the students will have access to it and they can post away. Now you might be thinking, how do the students post away? Well, when they open up the screen, it's going to look just like this. Okay, so the blue zone. What would be something in the blue zone that would make someone tired? Okay, we can say, I'm going to click this plus button. And what would be something that would relate to the blue zone? Just feeling tired or down. I would say maybe a couch, right? So I can put the word couch in here and it would post it. Or I can click one of these options right here. I can upload my own image. I can click a link and add a link to a website that goes along with it, that goes along with the blue zone. Maybe it's a YouTube video of something that was in the blue zone, somebody that was sad or crying or bored or upset. Or I can click this button right here, which searches the internet. So if I click that, it's going to come up with a couch. And then I'm going to click on that. Here's a nice couch. And it puts the image in. We're building the comprehension because we're making it visually supported, and that sticks and retains for long-term memory. So now that they can access that memory, they can connect with their peers a lot easier. It ties into the social learning component of it, and it really builds the language foundation. So it's really easy to use this portion of it. And that is how you use the shelf. Once I'm done with this, if I want to use it, the same Padlet with a different group of students, then what I can do is I can come up here to where that little gear icon is at. And when I click on that, I can scroll down to the bottom. Oh, I'm sorry. When I click on these three dots right next to it, that's the way I can edit things. Okay. So now I can come down here and do a couple different things. But one of those things that I can do is I can clear all post. So everything that the students in one of my social groups did can no longer be seen. So 4579, delete, and boom, I share this same link, same Padlet with a different group of students. So that way I don't have to keep creating new ones. I don't have to pay the monthly subscription if I don't want to. But let's say I want to use it across multiple social groups. And I like this. I can have multiple groups do it across different times and different weekdays. And then once they're done creating it, what would be something in the green zone? Why don't we say Disneyland? For me, that's like the red zone. But I'm going to click on that. And let's say we like all the answers and we want to save it because we want to provide documentation for the IEP, or we want to collect data so we can show others how we've been managing collecting data on these types of goals that we're working on. Well, what I can do is I can go up here and click those three icons again, those three little dots. And then what I can do is I can archive it. Boom. So now it's archived and I don't have to worry about, I can free up space here. So that's exactly how you do that. I'm going to click this and delete some of these things. And that is the shelf. Okay, one more thing that I'd like to show you is we're going to create a new Padlet, and I use this equally as often, and that's the wall. The wall, when I click select, it's just like a virtual bulletin board. It's a wall. And so I'm going to title this one. I could do this name list one fun thing you did for spring break. Okay. Include a photo, please. And then they can search on that. I have all of these things as my settings in there. I click next. You know what I can also show you to do? Once you're up here, you can also change the appearance. You don't have to have that as your backdrop. So the wallpaper, I want a different picture that maybe goes along with spring break, or maybe that goes along with something that would be more friendly for children, or I'm sorry, for our high school students. I like the skyline. Cool colors, visually stimulating. And now we're ready for the students to begin posting. So it's just like the way you would post on the other one and share the link with the other one. So we're going to start posting it. But the difference is that they're not category based. We're just replying to one question. The opportunities are endless. You can do this once a month as a check-in. It builds knowledge. It's so fun for the students. I hope that you find this useful. On this one, again, you just hit the plus and you're just going to add it. One last thing, these three little dots, when you click those, you can literally have so many options of how you want to interact on this. Some kids might want to put a link. Some kids might want to put a video, and maybe you're working on some students articulating themselves or fluency. They can add and record their voice and put it on here, right? Really cool. If you're working on story retell, tell me how your weekend went, but I want you to use the voice portion of it. Then we can track data, we can collect their language samples, or we can really target their needs and see how they're progressing over time. And then once I go back to the home screen, you can see it added it to my Padlet list. But again, you're allowed up to 4 of them. Anything beyond that, you're going to have to pay. Hope that is a helpful tool for you. Have fun.